We'll give our real MVPs for the entire NBA season. And it's not Giannis. Plus, can Zion win a chip in New Orleans? And Luka may have won Rookie of the Year, but I'll tell you why I'm taking Trae Young's Hawks over his Mavericks. Second hour, first take, now.
NBA Most Valuable Player goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I don't think my dad, obviously, my dad is not here with me, but every day that I step on the floor, I always think about my dad, and that motivates me and it pushes me to, play harder and move forward. Even though when my body's sore, even though when I don't feel like playing, I always go and show up and I always go do the right thing. You don't see the future, right? And if you have a good parent, your parent sees the future for you. As my dad told me, always want more, but never be greedy. My goal is to win a championship, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen.
It's hard not to like that guy. Huge congrats to Giannis. Welcome back to First Take, coming to you live above the Heineken River deck here at Pier 17. Marcus Spears with us. Good to see you, sir.
What's up, Marcus?
Last night, emotional. Obviously, Giannis taking home the MVP. Max thinks it's laughable that MVP's a regular season award. Obviously, the real money's made in the postseason, and Max suggesting that MVP should include both the regular season and the playoffs. So with that being said, Max, let's take it all into account.
Yep.
Who's the real MVP encompassing all of it?
I mean, we all know what it is. It's Kawhi Leonard. It's not close. Duh, Kawhi. Look. I thought Giannis was going to get Kawhi in the playoffs. I thought he would. I said LeBron, because he's not in the playoffs, as he does every year, he takes his foot off the gas in the regular season to save himself because he's an older player for the playoffs, the games that matter the most. This year he didn't have the playoffs to remind us that he was the best. So the baton is laid down. Who wants to pick it up? Steph, you want it? Harden, you want it? Kawhi, the freak. Who wants it? The answer is KD. The answer is Kawhi. Now, KD was almost matching Kawhi step for step. Kawhi was playing better than KD at the moment that KD got hurt. Let me just make that very clear. I'll say it again slowly for people since they don't seem to understand. Kawhi was playing better than KD at the moment KD got hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Better. Offensively, it was close. Maybe KD had a slight advantage facing single teams, single coverage, because you can't leave the shooters, Steph and Clay. Kawhi was facing double teams every single time he touched the ball and put up virtually the same numbers on offense. Defense, it wasn't close. It was Kawhi. Kawhi's team won the chip with less around him than what KD had, though we all know KD would have won had he stayed healthy because his team is that much better. But the answer is Kawhi. I thought it was going to be Giannis. I thought Giannis was a physical mismatch for Kawhi and almost everyone. I was wrong. The answer was Kawhi. Regular season, Kawhi was 5th or 6th or 8th best. But when the highest leverage moments come, you got to give it to him. Now, for those who are saying it's not fair for the guys who don't make the playoffs, 16 out of 30 teams make the playoffs in the NBA. There's no such thing as an MVP from a non-playoff team. If you're an MVP, you have a better than 50-50 shot to make the playoffs. By definition, you will be in the playoffs. The answer is Kawhi Leonard.
Are you serious right now? Your little man crush for Kawhi Leonard has to stop. It's got to stop, brother. And Marcus, you gonna feel me on this, brother. There's one big word. One big word. If we're going to talk about regular season and we're going to talk about postseason, there's a big word called load management. Kevin Durant doesn't know what load management means. Kevin Durant is a throwback.
You were the most load-managed player of all time. Of course you know what that means.
How does your nose fit in the screen? How does your nose get in the box, man? Go to a full frame.
Right.
Put his nose in there.
15 seconds. Load management.
Get his nose in there. Hey, not to mention, when these two squared off in the regular season, you know what he gave Kawhi? A 50 ball. Wasn't no Steph. Wasn't no Dre. It was missing. Maybe Draymond was there equally. Who knows who was playing? He gave that man a 50-piece. Then let's go on. The Clippers, one of the finest run organization right now in sports, not in basketball, in sports. They pushed Kevin Durant to the limit. And Kevin Durant said, you know what, Steve Kerr? We're tired of team basketball. We're tired of running plays. Give me the basketball. I am Kevin Durant. And hold on. Your boy believes in load management. Kevin Durant doesn't. Maybe he's a warrior. Maybe he's a little crazy. Maybe he's silly. But when he came back, and these two squared off in the NBA Finals. Keep in mind, Golden State was up 10, plus 10. KD had what, 12 to 15 points or whatever it was in 10 or 15 minutes. Are you kidding
me? You might have a case.
Okay, kids, that's enough. That's enough. All right. Most valuable player is different than best player. All right. You're having this conversation. The most valuable player. That's why we've always had this conversation about LeBron being able to be the MVP the last 8 seasons that he's been to the NBA Finals. Because he's been the most valuable player to his team that had success. Now, I ask both of you this question because y'all the basketball guys.
I'm the basketball guy. I don't know what he is.
Who's the other Hall of Famer on Giannis Antetokounmpo's team?
There are none.
There are none.
So
who was the most valuable player?
Bud will be in the Hall of Fame. His coach.
Ryan. Bud ain't shot a basket this season. One player on their team who has the most significant impact on their team having success, and that was Giannis this year. Mm-hmm. Period. That was the guy. So when we talking about most valuable player, now, if we having the best player conversation, we know that that's been Kawhi or KD to whoever falls on what side you want to fall on. I'm going with Kawhi because I think Kawhi is he gives more to your basketball team than KD right now. And KD, quite frankly, doesn't have the ability to show his ability to do more because he plays with 5 other All-Stars. So when we having this MVP conversation for all the basketball
when he put up a 50 ball, that wasn't showing the ability?
Bro,
when he told the Clippers I'm Kevin Durant and went to busy, that's not showing the ability.
See, this is what I get tired of. This is what I get tired of with you guys. You're always talking about points. You know how many guys in the NBA can get 40 a night if they take enough shots?
Not in the playoffs, G. Not in the playoffs.
LeBron
averaged 40.
Season basketball playoffs, 2 different 40 for a series.
Here's what it is. Hold on, Ryan. Here's what it is with KD. This is
LeBron
why
is the greatest of all time, okay?
No one's arguing. No one's arguing KD's
player.
not an all-time great. We know KD's an amazing player, but we're splitting hairs here to talk about who's the best. And by the way, I disagree, big fella. I think best and most valuable are synonyms. Where people get caught up is in individual skills. They think that makes you the best. So they see KD can do everything. That makes him the best. But Kawhi also plays defense on a very high level. Kawhi, I believe, will make his team better than KD will make his team. And that's how I define value and best. Who elevates the team? That would be Kawhi Leonard, who won a championship. The Greek Freak was amazing all year, but I can't give it to him when Kawhi won that much worse in the regular season, and then when it mattered the most, shut him down.
It's 2 seasons.
Marcus, let me ask you this real quick, Marcus.
Yeah.
Now, if you matching up against another guy, right, and you guys, your numbers are similar, it's a big matchup, and you guys go head-to-head and you win the matchup, would it not be fair to say that you're the better player, Marcus? If we're talking about KD and Kawhi, when you guys match up, you win the matchup, and the numbers are similar.
No, it wouldn't be necessarily fair.
Are we talking? Molly, help me.
Yeah.
You could win the matchup with Magic Johnson. He could make his team.
By the way, you're doing a great job of moderating this. I'm really enjoying this.
We in these boxes, but I need somebody to come in and help me make sense of this. Don't they play basketball with 5 people?
Yes.
All right, that's true, right?
Yeah.
When are we gonna stop giving validity to the fact that KD has the least amount of pressure on him than any other superstar? When are we going? Please, somebody. This doesn't take away the fact that KD is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, KD is one of the best players that ever played basketball.
That's why he took so much criticism for the move, of course.
Let's stop it.
And that's
Brian,
why
don't do that.
he was going to leave.
Don't do that, Ryan Hollins.
Steph didn't play.
Don't act like when you play with all-time players, it's not easier for you to be an all-time player.
Ryan, stop making Marcus upset.
What I'm telling you, Marcus, when he gave Kawhi 50, when he gave Max's boy 50 points, a 50 ball.
Let's talk about how this happens
maybe
for
didn't
KD.
Play. It wasn't no full team. This was a head-to-head matchup, G.
Let's talk about how this happens.
My guys versus your guys.
Let's talk about how this happens for KD. This is why they win. Because they're saying other teams' philosophies playing the Warriors is, look, we're going to lose anyway if they're fully loaded. But here's our best chance. We'll ISO KD. We'll stay home on the shooters. We'll make him beat us 2 at a time instead of getting crushed 3 at a time from open shooters. But guess what? There's no such thing as covering KD single coverage and him not beating you two at a
No
time.
chance.
Of course he's going to beat you two at a time. You just said it. He's 7 feet tall and he can do everything on offense. The difference is Kawhi Leonard was doing it double teamed all year.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not even saying he's the offensive player KD is, but he's close. And then on defense, he's shutting down the freak, down 2 games to none, shutting down the Greek freak when it mattered most. MVP.
Hey, buddy, open those big ears up yours. Open those ears up. You want to know why? I covered the Clippers series. KD was double teamed. But you know what, Marcus? You want to know what he did? KD was so efficient. He took one dribble, pulled up and popped. You couldn't double team it. This man is by far the better shooter. So while you can throw out, it got to a point he was so ridiculous, they tried to double. You can't get there when a guy 7 feet tall catches, turns, and shoots right over you. And that's what Kevin Durant did.
I hear all of that you saying. Who won the series?
Warriors. I'm talking Warriors and Clippers. They beat the Clippers.
Were taking 6 games by the Clippers.
And it was because of you can't guard KD. Just like people in the league for the last 12, 13 years couldn't guard Dirk Nowitzki because he's 7 foot and can shoot over anybody. You ain't saying that.
You know what? I'm glad you brought up Dirk Nowitzki. Think about this. When they surrounded Dirk Nowitzki, not with all-stars, just with a whole bunch of shooters, there was nothing you could do. They crushed everyone. Now imagine if all those shooters Nowitzki was surrounded with were Hall of Famers. KD got, that's why he joined the team, because he can't lose on that squad.
Okay, 2 of the best shooters that ever played. We'll leave it there. I'm sorry.
Load management.
So good at listening to
Load
directions.
management.
Very good on TV. I just want to compliment
This
you
is
on
Ryan Load Management Hollins.
All right. When we come back here on First Take, Drew Brees.